أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الصلاة والسلام على نبي صلى الله عليه وسلم. This is a podcast of the Deen of an Old Woman. Okay. I will begin with the Quranic ayah. Allah tells us in Surah 17, verse 70, and surely we have honored the children of Adam and carried them on land and sea and provided them with good things, and we have them excel by an appropriate excellence over many of those we created. Allah has made us the best of creation, and this is an understanding and awareness that we should acquire. We should see how Allah preferred us to everything in His creation. Look at the magnificent zodiac sign. Look at the sun and the moon and the heavenly bodies and the things that are in the sea that not still yet discovered yet. The mountain, the sky, the clouds, the streams, the trees, the plants. Such beautiful creation. But remember, we are the chosen creation of Allah, and we should all be aware of that and have self-esteem and self-confidence. When we have Allah in our lives, when we make Allah center of our lives, and we connect with the greatest, the most magnificent, the creator of all creation, we receive this positive energy, this positive mindset, this positive perspective, this positive understanding. Allah has given us the Quran, a one book that explains everything. Allah has made all things clear in the Quran, that we're not left in the dark and confused about what this world is about and who we are. Allah very proudly created us and showed us to His angel, rows upon rows of angels, and commanded them to honor us, and they all prostrated to us. This event took place in the pre-worldly realm when Allah created our soul, and Allah said, "Am I not your Lord?" And we said, "Yes." We all witness to the fact that Allah is our Lord. We looked at our own creation, looked at the soul, looked upon itself, and then we looked on Allah. And we saw that Allah is the main source and the originator and the creator and the sustainer and the cherisher of us human beings. We were instilled with that understanding. We were there. We witnessed that. This is embedded in our subconscious. And when we come into this world, we just have to dig deep in our subconscious and remember who we are and who Allah is and the intricate relationship between us and Allah, and how important it is to keep that at the forefront of our mind when we navigate through this life, through the challenges of life, through relationships and professions and all the worldly matters. We should always be mindful of this link, this connection, this salah between Allah and us. So this event of taking, when Allah took count from us that is He not the one to be worthy of worship, and we all said yes. It took place in another realm before we came into this earth. And so this is what the Quran refers to as a dhikr, a remembrance. The more we bring Quran in our lives, the more we read it, the more we reflect on it, the more we look deeply into it, the more we contemplate on the verses of the Quran, the deeper this understanding, this memory that we had in the pre-realm will be unlocked, and it will emerge from subconscious into our consciousness. Meaning that we will remember who we are and who Allah is and what our relationship should be as a true slave to worship the one true God. The most important knowledge of us to have is to know who we are. If we don't know who we are, we will define ourselves with the wrong things and never obtain true being, true reality, true understanding, true awareness who we really are. We will start trying to define ourselves with other things, whether it's our material things or our particular relationships, rather than defining ourselves as true slave of Allah. This is the crunch. To know yourself mean to know your place in relationship to the one who created us. And it's then that we know who we truly are. It's then that we will start to respect and love ourselves, and this positivity will gravitate to our goodness. So the crucial line is that how much we are willing to follow Islam, to follow the 5 pillars of Islam, to do the salah, to give zakah, to fast, and to go to Hajj. And obviously the first one is to witness that, to utter, to say there was no one worthy of worship but Allah. It's a small, simple verse which goes like this: La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. That there's no one worthy of worship but Allah, and that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is his messenger. We should live our lives by one sentence. How simple life would be. We don't need any philosophy. We don't any new science, a new age reasoning that comes up, or various logic and philosophy. A simple foundation term of a sentence, which is La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. When we are unaware of this fact, that we are true slave of Allah, then we can have the wrong self-understanding. So we end up defining ourselves with temporary, fleeting things in life that will never satisfy us. So we move from one thing to another, constantly finding a place of belonging, acceptance, because our foundation of who we are is not there. This constant search for who we are is within all of us. And once we find Islam in our lives and find Allah in our lives and find His speech, His kalam, Quran in our lives, that's when we find contentment and peace. That's where true tranquility lies. There have been so many people and so many famous people or ordinary people that have had a difficulty, confusing and miserable life, sometimes so much confusing and depression that it might lead to suicide. And the reason why we become so depressed and miserable, because we want to know who we are. It's like having a jigsaw puzzle. When you put the puzzle in its right slot, that's when it feels good. But most of our time we try to put the jigsaw pieces in the wrong slot, and we try to push it, and it won't fit, and we get frustrated and annoyed, and we try another slot, and we try, and it doesn't fit. And this is a continuous, ongoing journey. Unless we stumble upon faith, upon Islam, that shows us what's right and what's wrong. Once we are truly clear that our Creator, our maintainer, our director, our carer, our beloved Allah has honored us, we start having a positive image ourselves, and we hold ourselves responsible. We become responsible human being because we know that Allah is there for us. Allah is watching us. He's listening to us. He's there all the time with us. Allah tells us in the Quran, I'm closer to you than your jugular vein. Life has its ups and downs. So we also have difficult moments. And that doesn't mean that we can't climb out of those dark, difficult moments when we feel worthless. All we have to do is just go back to our Creator by bowing down to Him and continue doing our salah, our prayer, as a Muslim, which is 5 times a day. It's amazing how much peace, how much focus, how much purpose, how much meaning we'll get when we start praying. We know who we are and the difficulties of challenges we are facing, whether it's a loss of a job or loss of a freedom or any broken relationship, but these things will not shake our foundation when we know who we are. We are solid and firm in our identity, and we see how things ebb and flow, how life challenges come and go, how difficult come and go, how tests come and go. But Allah remains firm, and we remain firm in our relationship with Allah. When Allah breathed His Spirit in us, He used the word blessed Spirit or Mubarakah in Arabic. And this is in Arabic. It means which something that grows, and also it grows into a full potential. When we know who we are and we do things that we are supposed to do, we take actions that we are supposed to take actions, and we say things that are right things, and we think in a right manner, all this leads to goodness of growth, and that's when we reach our full potential. Allah has placed different abilities in all of us. Some are more artistic, some are more scientists, some are more interested in archaeology, in history. We all have different capacity. When we are true slave of Allah, we recognize this potential, and Allah gives us the ability to make this potential grow and to manifest and to affect on the world. So a jeweler may create a beautiful necklace. They have that capacity, the ability within them. When they are true to their nature, true to their fitrah, and following Islamic way of life, they can develop their full potential, and that will give them satisfaction and meaning. All of us have goodness in us, and when we reflect on the Quran and take our identity from the Quran, not only will we honor and respect ourselves, we will also be flexible on ourselves. When we make a mistake, we know the doors of forgiveness are always open. We are not harsh on ourselves. We ask Allah to forgive us and move on and let go. It's no use holding on to things that are in the past because we can't change them. Nobody can change the past. And Allah in His mercy in the Quran has shown us that all we have to do is ask forgiveness, and Allah will forgive, and that heavy burden of guilt and worry will be lifted from us. Allah has made life so easy for human being because He loves us and He wants goodness from us. He doesn't want us to be confused, to be anxious, to be sad. He wants us to be positive and happy and enjoy the blessing of Allah, the beauty and the blessing of this world, to travel and to see different countries, different landscape, different food. There's so much that Allah has blessed us with. So when we make a mistake, it's not difficult. All we have to do is just go back to our Creator and Allah, who made us, and just say sorry. Allah will wipe our mistake, providing that we don't do it again. Even some say that when we repeat our mistake, Allah forgives. Allah forgives many times. It's us that we should be in a mindset, and we should have a habit, and we should be aware of the wrong things that we've done, so we can ask for forgiveness from Allah. In the Quran, Allah tells us that not only has He honored us, but He has carried us on land and sea. Can you imagine how much we depend on our Allah in order to have a good life? Every breath we take, Allah gives us the ability to breathe. Allah gives us the ability to have good mindset. Allah gives all this. It's up to us. We connect with Allah. So, finally, I just want to reiterate again that we have to know who we are, a true slave of Allah, who Allah is, our connection and communication with Allah, which will lead to not only a happy life but eternal bliss. Thank you.